Hi everyone, how was my last tutorial part about some common questions and answers that you can use in German to request for help? So do write your reviews in the comment section. Now in this last tutorial part, I will show you just another set of questions which can be used in German to request for help. Now the questions that you have seen in the previous tutorial part were direct questions using verbs like helfen, to help, and erklären, to explain in the questions. And also the questions had definite answers like yes or no. Now in this part, the questions are kind of indirect because they do not have definite yes or no answers. They can have different possible answers. Also, I will show you some sentences or statements which can show that you are asking for help in German. So let's have a look. Fragen, as I mentioned before also in my previous tutorial part, are questions. Sätze is the plural form of sentences. One sentence is der Satz. Plural, die Sätze. So indirect kind of questions would be like wie schreibt man das? So if you see a word and you do not know how to write that word, then the question would be how one can write that. Schreiben is to write, and it is a regular German verb which I have mentioned in my previous tutorials. And the new word in this question that you have just seen is Mann. Now there is another word in German, Mann, written with a capital M and 2N, and this is the word that means man. But if you see this word written with a small m and just one n, this is the same as the English one. So it is like, how does one write that? How does one write that? So any word that you do not know how to write, you can possibly ask this question. Wie bitte is another question that I have mentioned also in my previous tutorials. And it is actually used when you do not understand what somebody said. So, for example, you are talking with someone and you could not properly understand or hear what the other person was saying. So, you can ask, wie bitte, meaning how please, in the sense that you are asking that person to repeat what he or she just said. Then there is the third possible question, was bedeutet das? Bedeutet is the form of this verb bedeuten, which is another regular German verb conjugated like another German verb that I've mentioned in my previous tutorials. Arbeiten, to work, that I have mentioned in my previous tutorials, specifically in tutorial 7, in which I mentioned about the work and the workplaces. Was bedeutet das? What does that mean? So if you don't understand something, this is another question you can ask. Now, all these three questions can have different answers depending on what was talked about. Some common statements or sentences that automatically show that you are requesting for help are bitte helfen Sie mir. Please help me. Now you can just leave out Sie and mir and just say bitte helfen. Please help. You can also say ich habe eine Frage. I have a question. And last of all, you can also say ich verstehe das nicht. Verstehe is the conjugated form of another new verb, verstehen, which means to understand. Now, bedeuten and verstehen are both regular German verbs. So do check out my tutorial on the regular verbs, in which I have mentioned how these verbs are conjugated when they come with the relevant personal pronoun like I, you, he, she, it, etc. Haben is an irregular verb, so you need to check out the tutorial 11 part 1 for its conjugation. Helfen and the verb that I mentioned in my previous tutorial part, erklären. Now, erklären, which means to explain, is also a regular German verb. But helfen is an irregular German verb, which I will show you in later tutorials also, and then I will show you the conjugation. Now, like I mentioned in my previous tutorial part, you can put the word Entschuldigung before these questions in the first position to make the question sound politer. But you can use Entschuldigung before these statements or sentences also, again to make you sound politer. In both questions and sentences, you have to put Entschuldigung in the first position. So, Entschuldigung, wie schreibt man das? And Entschuldigung, ich habe eine Frage. So, that was all for today. Any questions related to this whole tutorial, you can ask in the comment section. Please like my videos and continue watching the tutorials. Also, do not forget to subscribe to German tutorials for beginners and share my channel's name and link with your friends. Thank you.